Good morning. It's another beautiful looking day today, and today's quite a big day for us. We start off today and we're just heading down there now, and it won't take us too long to get there. The Ahuriri River, and they say this river crossing we're about to do is the biggest river crossing in the South Island. So I'd argue the biggest river crossing on the TA, because those big water crossings we did in the North Island were more estuary crossings and river crossings. Then we got quite a climb to Martha Saddle, and then we could drop down the other side, and that's going to be a well-defined saddle, not like the one we had yesterday. Then we'll drop down the other side, and it's top Timaru Hut. So whether we stay at top Timaru Hut or within 3k of the other side, you go past multiple nice campsites apparently. So we'll just see how we go today. We might get to top Timaru and there'll be all beds taken anyway, and we'll have no choice but to go and camp, but it is what it is. We'll just plod along today and we'll see what it's like, but I'm thinking we're going to get some pretty good views up the top of Martha Saddle, so we'll show you as we go. One thing I've noticed a lot, I haven't mentioned, the sheer number of rabbits, and this is another example of a rabbit proof fence. You can see them wrap the wire down on the ground, and that's what these rocks are doing, holding the wire on. You can look in here next to this rock, and a rabbit has actually tried to dig and get underneath it. So I'll keep an eye out. I've seen a few rabbits scrambling on the other side. There goes another one just over there. Probably won't pick it up on the camera. And I'll see if there's any rabbits on this side of the fence. I can certainly see some sort of little dig marks as if there's more rabbits. Like these little things here, they're always sort of digging all the time. And there's another one over here. And I know it can be a big problem in these areas, controlling the rabbit numbers. And man, those things, once they get out of control, they are just everywhere. Really hard to get them back under control. But this is just beautiful. This reminds me, take away the mountains, this is another working cattle station or ranch. You can actually see the farmhouse. I'll try and zoom in on it. It might not show up on the camera, but that's down in the bottom of these hills here. And just beautiful. And when I was in Twizel, I spoke to the motel owner, and I actually went to the proper pub, the locals pub, not the Alps to Ocean pub where all the tourists go. And I just felt like I was in a little country town in outback Australia again. It was really nice. So here we go. I think this is going to be our first look at the Ahuriri River. So this is us down there. You can see the size of the cliffs on the other side. I'm not exactly sure where our track out is, but I imagine it's down here somewhere. But we'll keep following this path down and we'll see where we're meant to do our crossing. Well, the instructions are pretty much just find a safe place to cross. And if I zoom in over here, you can see the marker on the other side that we've got to go to. Pretty obvious there. A lot of people I know in past years, although the riverbed's probably changed, they found an island, they go diagonally to the island, across it, and then diagonally again over two sort of different parts of the river. Most people I've spoken to, northbounders, have just said they just walked up to the river, seen the marker on the other side, gone straight across because the river level's so low. They talk about going just above a rapid, and I assume that's just here. So we can have a little bit of a look in this location, and just looking up the valley here too. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous day. Anyway, let's get this river crossing done. Well, we're really lucky. That water was as clear as anything and it didn't even go over my knees, and we just came straight down the bank and walked straight across. Didn't have to think too much at all. Very easy crossing. That was easier than some of the smaller rivers I've been in. The current in those smaller rivers was a lot faster, and it was getting up to mid-thigh level. So yeah, pretty lucky for the biggest river crossing in the South Island to catch it in weather like this. All right, we're going to push on now. We're going to climb our way up. There's through a cutting over there, we can sort of find our way up. There's a bit of a road up to get out of here. So I climbed out of the riverbed and back up on the flats now. And that's the valley there in the middle of my screen. That's what we've walked out of. Just coming past beautiful sunrise now. And we walk down these flats and we get to a car park. And this section on the walk, even though I'm sort of going over to Hardware and into Wanaka, this section actually consists of 2 tracks, and this is actually the ending when you get to the car park of the first track. And then we're going to go into the second section. And out of all sections on the entire TA, after what's happened, this next section has me more nervous than any other section of the track. I'll spin the camera around and I'll try and explain why. First and foremost, obviously, condolences to the poor Australian lady again who passed on the section of track I'm about to start on now. And from what I can gather, it's not today's section, it'll be tomorrow's section where the terrible accident happened. For me as a TA hiker, it'd just be nice to be able to get a little bit of accurate information. Not about being nosy, just about keeping myself safe. Christine, who I'll be doing it with, making sure we're both safe and other people around us, just to make sure it doesn't happen again, and we do everything we can to avoid it. But there's been very little information out there. We're a pretty close-knit community on the TA, like I say, even with people you haven't met. We're all in this together, and naturally when we come across northbounders who have already done this section of the track, we have a bit of a chat to them to see what it was like. And I'm sure when I get on the Wanaka side, the northbounders will be asking me the same thing. The best information I can get talking to people is there's a section once you get past top Timaru Hut, there's about 3k or so, and you get down to the river, and the TA notes actually say there's really steep side lanes and stuff. It might actually be easier if the weather's good to take the riverbed. However, in isolated locations in that riverbed, there's deep gorges, and be prepared to come back, scramble up, find a track to get around those gorges, and then drop back down onto the riverbed. But there's also a waterfall in there, and I'm suspicious the waterfall's actually where the accident happened. I don't know, I can't confirm 100%. And our intention anyway, Christine had done a bit of research, was about half a k before the waterfall to come out of that riverbed, find the track, and use the track down onto the downstream side of the waterfall and then re-enter the riverbed there. That was always our plan, and we think that's probably a sensible thing. On the best information we can get, we think that's our safest way through that section. Then after that, we're going to get down to a bit of a river junction, and we've got to make a decision. There's a much easier way out. You just follow the riverbed all the way out from there. I don't think it's dangerous. And the alternative is the official TA route, where you actually climb up again and you get to another summit, and you get brilliant reviews over Mount Aspiring and Lake Wanaka and Lake Hardware. Look, those views, I've seen a few photos of them, look stunning. They look like they're going to be up there on the level of the views we got over places like Waiau Pass and Stag Saddle, and that'd certainly be my preference. The weather forecast tomorrow is the same as yesterday and the same as today. Absolutely perfect weather, and I would go over that high point and get those views tomorrow. It'll be a long day. You're talking 10 to 12 hour day tomorrow. Christine definitely decides she's going down the riverbed. She doesn't want to do it. I'm probably veering towards getting down to the junction, doing the dangerous part of the track with Christine and company, and then I think I might go up. Either way, the day after tomorrow, we'll get more information. Probably into today, I'll ping another forecast. There's rain and thunderstorms. I don't know exactly what time of the day they're due to come in, because it's too far ahead. We can't get hour by hour forecast yet on our Garmin's. Either way, thunderstorms and rain, I'd have a steep 900 plus metre descent, and Christine would be in a riverbed. Not ideal either way, so I'm just hoping that those storms and that rain's due to come in the second part of the day, so we can both do what we want and then get out to Hardware, where we've got a bed and breakfast that Christine found that we're going to stay in for the night, get in there before the bad weather sets in, and the day after is forecast bad weather as well, but we just have a 4 hour hike then from Lake Hartwell to get through to Wanaka, where we've got a rest day anyway. So we'll know more when we get to the end of the day today, but yeah, it is a bit frustrating just sort of wanting to keep ourselves safe and do the right thing. So I guess this is what it's like when you're farming on a big station like this. If I zoom in here, you'll see the farm dogs. Got a big flock of sheep up there. And come down here, see the farmer's ute down the bottom here. Oh, he's got a drone. Didn't even think of a drone. Yeah. And this deer fence, we've been walking by that the whole way. It must have cost so much. And I can see one deer. I'll try and zoom in on it. I don't know if I'll find it on the camera. There it is there in the middle of my screen. There's a few more deer here. You can see them right in the top of the hill there. You can see the antlers. Ha. Well, I think we might be getting our first look at Martha's Saddle. We definitely veer off to the left, so we'll definitely be going up this valley somewhere and probably to the left of that mountain there with a double peak. And imagine Martha's Saddle was down to the left of that. I don't know if it's that point there or further to the left behind this hill here might be obstructing our view of it. So this is Tin Hut, and it's a private hut. It's put there by the owners of the station we're walking on at the moment. I think you get your water from this little stream here, but I'm going to check it out because I can see some cattle upstream again. It makes me a bit nervous. I'll see if there's another water source higher up because I've got enough to go a little bit longer yet. Nice chairs. Almost a double bed down here. And yeah, you get armchairs in this hut. And I'm not sure if that's another option for our intentions book, but we'll have a look. Well, there used to be a door, but I guess this is a toilet with a view. That's my view. Well, I was miles out when I said Martha's Saddle might be to the left of this double peak mountain. Now we've got here and found north and had a good look at our maps. We go up these switchbacks and we're up behind that ridge somewhere. And we must go up to the left of this mountain range, just through that little valley there. Well, it's pretty clear where we're heading at the moment. It's straight up into that initial little saddle in the middle of my screen. And then where the main Martha Saddle is, I don't know. We'll get up to that point and then we'll have another look. I'll swing around here. This is the valley we came out of. Just down in there. So we've been getting closer and closer to this one. And now Martha's Saddle is up in there somewhere. We just keep following our way up. 2.4 kilometres to the saddle. Doesn't sound like far, but when you've got to get up there, it's going to take a while. That's the view behind. And we're getting closer. It must be the saddle just through there. So here we go. We're just hitting the summit now. And this is probably the easiest summit I've ever done. Exact gradient. Thank you to long slip station for giving us access to their land. And there's a bulldoze pathway the whole way up. There we go, top Timaru Hut, that's today's target. Only 1.5 to 2 hours away. This is just unobstructed views again. That's my new view. Southern Alps, as far as we can see again. And if I spin around, this is where we come from. Just magic. I'm going to sit up here and savour the moment while I wait for Christine. So if we zoom in here, that's the saddle where we've come from. You can actually see the sign I stood next to in the middle of the camera. You can see the scree that we've come along the side of. We're about to sidle on down here. If you look down there, pretty clear pathway. So a lot of kickbacks down here, or switchbacks, sorry, not kickbacks. And it turns around down here and back down. That's where we're going. So you can see the final path down the scree, and obviously we're down into this valley down here. Well, you can see where we come from now, and where we walked across the scree, across that hill there. That is the longest scree run I've ever walked across. It took forever, and it started way over here in this corner here. You can see the switchback. So that's just gorgeous, and we're still heading down that valley. It looks like a big flat bit of scree. We're going to go over down there as well. It's a perfect example. You can see the water flowing through here, and it goes into that gravel and just disappears and appears further down. That's how your water gets so filtered and why it's so clear. Well, that can't be too far away, because here's the toilet. Very modern looking toilet actually. Might not smell for a change. And here we are, up at Timaru Hut. Looks a bit like a glass house in there, but we'll go inside and see what it looks like. Well, good afternoon. So a bit of a debriefing for today. Martha Saddle, that's got to be the easiest climb I've ever done. We're at 1,600 and something metres, and our total ascent today was just over 900 metres, because we're already at elevation already. But yeah, look, I thought it was quite a nice climb. There were some quite nice views on the way up. We've been spoiled, obviously. We've had things like Waiau Pass and that, but still beautiful, but not the best day we've had on trail, I guess. And tomorrow's a very anxious day. One thing I noticed, there were some big landslides just up the valley here a little bit. And I had noticed Super Kiwi, she does a bit of a blog thing, and it's a private blog. She gave me access to it, and I noticed the discoloration in the river water. So I was looking out for it as I was coming down, and everything was clear, and there's a couple of like rock avalanches that have come down, and there's a lot of fine rock dust and that and silt, and all of a sudden the river's lost its clarity. So I'm actually standing down here in a little side stream, because I was actually worried about filtering my water with all that rock dust. And you'll see over here, beautiful, up at Timaru Hut. There it is over the other side of the main river there, which is all cloudy. What a lovely, lovely spot. So, you know, it was a good day. We got here in just under 8 hours. And of all people that's sitting in the hut, there's Dennis Stanton again. He's staying the night in the hut tonight. He's here, obviously, for terrible circumstances. He's going to have a look tomorrow at the exact spot on the trail where the poor Australian hiker had her accident, just to see, you know, if there's anything obvious that caused it. We are going to see tomorrow when we get to the junction how long it takes, because we still have some bad weather coming in. Not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. 10 a.m. in the morning, it's going to start raining. It's a big push, though, to get up and get the views down to Lake Hawea. We'd have to push hard to get that tomorrow. So we don't have a clear day ahead of us tomorrow. We're just going to have to see how long that first section takes to get to the junction. It's 5 to 6 hours in the trail notes. It may be quicker if we actually walk down in that riverbed while the water level's still low. But it will be revealed tomorrow when we get going. Other than that, we'll see you guys tomorrow and I'll show you how we go. Bye for now.